I've been wanting it. You've been wanting it. We've all been wanting the Miami Dolphins to add more to the secondary and specifically at the cornerback position. And Chris Grier did that today. They signed a corner in NFL free agency. We'll talk about who that is, how he fits in this roster, and everything going forward in free agency. I am Nic Rohloff. This is Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. Now, the corner that Miami ultimately went out and signed was Artie Burns, the former first-round pick out of Miami, actually. A homecoming for Artie Burns. He played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, played for the Seattle Seahawks, played for the Chicago Bears, but now will be joining the Miami Dolphins. You see the report, breaking news from Adam Schefter. Drew Rosenhaus was negotiating the deal. It feels like he reps almost every player that the Miami Dolphins signed at this point. But it is a homecoming for the former first-round pick. And I will say this. We made a video about it right here, but you would have known about the signing much earlier, as it did happen earlier today. If you followed me on Twitter/X at Nic_Rohloff, go give me a follow. And if you do, hey, you might get a follow back. The last 5 people to follow me, Colin Taylor, Don, Logan, Doug, and CAF. Appreciate you guys for joining over there. And hey, if you're the first 5 people to follow me from today's video, I'll give you a follow back. Let's get into Artie Burns now, because I want to let the people know about the former first-round pick. As I mentioned, he was out of Miami, drafted 25th overall in 2016, played really, really well his rookie season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He also joined the Bears and then has been in Seattle over the last 3 seasons, but he has not played a lot. He's gotten some special teams reps, but in terms of actually playing defense for Seattle, yeah, not happening often. Only 51 snaps last season for that Seahawks defense. He has a lot of experience, though. He's played 1,742 snaps in coverage. Now, that's not all the snaps he's played. It's just defending the pass. And in his career, he actually has pretty relatively good numbers in terms of coverage grades. 61% completion percentage, only 15 touchdowns, 99 QB rating. Like, he's been around the league, and yeah, he hasn't played a lot, so most of these numbers came in the first 5 years of his career rather than the last 2 or 3, but he has been someone that has been an outside starting corner in the past. And this is what I need to know from you guys. What is your one-word reaction to the Artie Burns signing? Some people may be a Dolphins and Hurricanes fan, and we're pumped up to see a former Hurricane join this Dolphins organization. But let me know your one word down in the comments section. My one word, depth. I do not think Artie Burns is going to be someone that starts for this Dolphins football team. And I'll say this, if Artie Burns is starting for this Dolphins football team, we are seriously in trouble. I'll take a look here at where Miami stands on the depth chart after this signing at corner. Kader Kohou, although he has not officially returned, I am putting him there with that tender Miami placed on Kohou. No team is going to sign him in restricted free agency, so he will ultimately return. But you still have a need at CB2. You have Storm Duck, Ethan Bonner, Cam Smith, and now Artie Burns in that line of group, but I will not exercise the thought that one of these guys already on the roster will be the CB2 for Miami day one. And if I'm going to be honest, Artie Burns isn't a guarantee to even make this Dolphins roster. I think he will be fighting for a spot, and if we get a notification in late August that he was cut from this Dolphins football team as they trim down to 53 players, it would not shock me one bit. To me, he is fighting for that CB3, CB4, CB5 type of role on this squad, and the Dolphins still need a legit CB2 opposite of Jalen Ramsey. Now, does it have to be a top corner in football? No, but it needs to be a capable starter that was similar to Kendall Fuller last year. Fuller's still a free agent. Could he return on a cheap deal if he doesn't get signed by someone else? Could possibly be an option. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because if the Dolphins make more moves in NFL free agency, we will have you covered. We're also in a sub-battle for this week against our rival Jets channel. The Jets report, Dolphins Today, 0 subs. Who can pick up the most subscribers this week? Hopefully, it's us. All right, I want to get back to this cornerback room because I want to talk about 2 players already on the roster. Cam Smith, the 2023 second-round pick out of South Carolina. I do not trust him whatsoever. This will be his third season in the National Football League, and he has just simply not panned out to this point. His rookie season, battled injuries. Vic Fangio didn't want to play Cam Smith, only was on the field defensively for 15 snaps. Year 2, dealt with injuries again, where he missed the first 4 weeks of the season, started the year on the PUP/IR list, returned and got some playing time, played 103 snaps in coverage, and simply was not good. He was targeted a lot in the limited time he was on the football field, and he was getting cooked left and right. 16 receptions, a QB rating allowed of 122.4. That is not good, man. Smith, who has been in the league now for 2 years, been with 2 different defensive coordinators, has simply not panned out and not lived up to the expectations that was had for him when Chris Grier selected him in the second round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Simply to put it, he's been a bust. And I don't want to throw around the word bust often. I only really want to use that word when I'm talking about top 50 picks. Any selection made in the first or second round, those players are expected to be pillars of your franchise when you were drafting them. Cam Smith, to this point, he will not be a pillar of this franchise and will not be a mainstay on this defense unless he somehow makes a complete 180 and looks like a different football player this offseason and the beginning of 2025. More to come here with the Dolphins cornerback situation, but we are sponsored by PrizePicks, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform that I play every single day. And I want you to join me because right now you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Right now, all you got to do is pick more or less on a few player stats projections, and that's how you create a lineup. It's the best place to win cash while watching sports. Over 10 million users playing today. You can combine professional basketball with college basketball. It is March, baseball, hockey, esports, and much more. PrizePicks also offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this season. I've got an entry for March. College basketball, baby. Is there anything better? I don't think so. 3-player entry here with 1 free pick from PrizePicks. More than Janai Broom, half a point. Take advantage right now. Also got John Polidekis from Yale, who hooped on Auburn last year. Hopefully he'll do it again against Texas A&M. And I'll go Joe Bamisell from VCU, 1.5 3-pointers made. Take the more than there. I like these entries. So join me, join the millions others on PrizePicks right now. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Staying on this cornerback room, we talked about Cam Smith, how I don't really trust him. Do I believe in Storm Duck, though? I don't know if that's the case either. Now, Storm Duck last season was actually better than Cam Smith, and that is a hard revelation if you are someone that is a Cam Smith truther, because Storm Duck was a UDFA last season, spent 2 or 3 seasons as a member of the North Carolina Tar Heels, but finished his collegiate career as a Louisville Cardinal. UDFA pickup, Dolphins gave him a pretty large signing bonus because they really wanted to bring him into their building, and he played more than Cam Smith, 230 snaps, and his grades are better. He allowed a lower QB rating when targeted. He allowed a lesser completion percentage and lesser yards while being targeted more and playing more snaps. So to me, Storm Duck was way more impressive than Cam Smith last season. And it was evident to the coaching staff as well, because when Kendall Fuller was out for a couple of weeks due to a concussion, Kader Kohu was out with injury, who did the Dolphins call upon? They called upon Cam Smith, and then they benched Cam Smith in favor of Storm Duck because that's how poorly Smith played against the Arizona Cardinals in the middle of the year. The truth is this. Even though Duck was better than Smith last year, this should not be something we're debating. This is mid versus mid, folks. The Dolphins need to sign someone. They need to go out in NFL free agency and add another corner. And if they don't do that, I will be pounding my fist on the table to draft a corner in the first 2 rounds, because I don't think it would be even plausible to expect this Dolphins secondary to be good next season if you're rolling out Cam Smith, Storm Duck, Ethan Bonner, or Artie Burns as your CB2 opposite of Jalen Ramsey. That would be a catastrophe. And we're going to talk about some corners I think Miami could sign here in just a second on a quick macro perspective. But who do you want the Dolphins go out and sign in free agency? Let me know. Drop a name down in the comments section. The 5 names that I'm going to look at on today's show, one should not surprise anyone whatsoever. It's the player we've probably talked about the most outside of Calais Campbell is the next move Miami should make. That's Asante Samuel Jr. The corner for the Los Angeles Chargers is one of my preferred targets, but Rasul Douglas, Stephon Gilmore, Jeff Okudah, James Bradbury are probably the 4 other names that I would like Dolphins fans to keep their eye on for. Douglas is an intriguing player, had success in Green Bay, had success in Buffalo, a zone corner, and then Gilmore, someone who's been a defensive player of the year in this league. 2019 with the Patriots, bounced around in the AFC East, played for the Buffalo Bills as well. Okudah, young player, top 5 pick, never panned out. He's visiting the Vikings earlier this week. But it doesn't surprise anyone if you've watched our content over the last week. Asante Samuel Jr. is my preferred target. He has battled injuries in his career, but he is a dog. He is 5'10", 180 pounds, which would project him in many eyes to be a potential slot, a nickel corner. But he is not that, folks. In his career, he has played exclusively on the outside as a boundary guy. He is physical for his size. He plays good man-to-man coverage, and I would like Miami to take a shot on Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know what his price point is at this point. The fact that he's still a free agent kind of stuns me a little bit, and if you're able to get him on a relatively cheap 2-year deal, I think I would be all in. 2 years, 14 mil, 7 mil per season. Like, if you can get that, and if he's still around at this point for ANC with his injury history, it's certainly possible. I would take the shot on the young man from Florida State. And if the Dolphins do make a move, we will have you covered. So hit that sub button. We're breaking down Miami Dolphins football every single day in the offseason. Even when it's hard to find things to talk about, we'll find something to talk about. So join us today.